All the Mods 10 has very recently been released, so this is a brand new mod pack, and I'm very excited to play through it. Now, one of the first things I like to do is go into my controls, and under keybinds, if we search for quest, then we can actually put a hotkey to it, which I put here as Q. Now, obviously, if you do that, then you're going to end up with a conflict, so you can search for the key of Q, and when we press enter, it'll come up showing all keys with that. Now, obviously, throwing items out of your inventory is normally set to Q, which I just got rid of because I just drag and drop them, but that's how you can set your hotkey and then get on with quests without needing a book or anything like that. So with that done, when we're running around the world, we can now just press Q at any time, and we come to this page where we can open our quest, and you can use the minus and plus keys to zoom in or out of the GUI scale, but this is where we start for all the Mods 10 with a little welcome message from them. And as it does say here in bold, this is currently in a beta development, so mods may get added or removed if you're watching this in the future. But all we have to do is click the check mark, and we get ourselves a bit of XP for doing that, and we're off to completing our quest straight away. And as it says here, the quests are indeed optional, and if we check that to say that we've seen it, we get some more XP. We're going to go through the rest of these, but over on the left hand side here, you can see that there's a ton of different quests to take you through the game. Now again, yes, they are optional, but we're going to follow through a lot of the quests in this playthrough because it's just a really good way to progress through the pack, get to know some of the mods, especially some of the ones that we're not familiar with, and give us a little bit of direction. Now this quest right here gives us some useful commands such as being able to set home. We can also go to the spawn at any point, and we can do an RTP, just randomly teleport around the world. They do have cooldowns, so that's important to notice, but what we're going to do is actually, I quite like this area right here that we're in as a potential home location. Let's go ahead and do /set home straight away. There we go. And once we've done that, then we can do /home to return here at any time. Now I am using a resource pack for this. If we go into the resource packs option right here, you'll see I'm using this one. It says incompatible. It's like one version before, so far I've not had any issues, but I'll put a link to this in the video description if you guys like the look of it and want to use it for yourselves. So having read and clicked through all of these quests right here, we've completed the chapter, which is awesome, and now we can get into the actual beginning of the game. And this is the first quest, which basically is just telling us a little bit about the game. And in order to complete this quest, all we have to do is get ourselves a little bit of wood. Now, it's important to notice that this pack has FTB Ultimine set to the grave key. Again, if we go to the keybind section, we can change that if we wish. But what this means is, for example, if we want to chop down this tree right here, if I press the grave key, then it highlights everything it's going to chop down, and it can get ourselves resources a lot faster in this way. This is going to be really useful, especially in the start of the game, so I thought it was worth mentioning. Now, in doing that, we've actually completed the quest as well, which is this first one right here, and we get ourselves some basic starter resources, so that's actually quite useful. And another good reason to follow through the quest, because it will help you to progress in such a way and give you items that will help you along the way. Now, we've got a couple of very easy quests right here, but they are very useful ones. So we're going to make ourselves the crafting table, which is obviously something we need to do anyway. But the cool thing about this pack as well is we can make one of these, a crafting table on a stick, and that is actually the next quest. But what it means is in our hotbar now, we've got this crafting bench that at any time we can right click and give ourselves the normal 3x3 crafting area like this without it just being the 2x2 in our inventory. As I say, that means we've completed a couple of quests and we're getting ourselves a ton of XP, so this will be quite useful early on, and maybe enchanting is something we're going to get into pretty soon, but for now we're going to do our first tool, which will be our wooden pickaxe. And the cool thing about this is we're going to get a random reward from it. So these I find are always quite exciting. You never know what you're going to get, so if I can place that correctly, we make the pickaxe up right there, clear a bit of space down here, and get ourselves the rewards. So we simply click through to get all these different rewards. There we go. And one of the rewards was, let's see, oh, it was a cat spawn egg. Hey, that's pretty cool. You know what, guys? Once we've got a little house set up, I'll get that cat placed down. And if you guys want to suggest names for that cat down in the comments, please feel free to do so, and I'll pick one in the next episode. Now, I'm noticing there are sleeping bags in the game. We're going to need 3 wool in order to make one of those, but that's going to be very useful to us when we're exploring in the early part of the game. So I think what we should probably do is, in fact, let's get ourselves some stone. We've got our wooden pickaxe now, so we'll go down to a bit of lower ground, get some stone and make up some basic tools. But if we can make ourselves up a sword, we can go kill a couple of sheep and get ourselves that sleeping bag. And the early part of this game is just going to be about, I guess, exploring, completing a few quests, and seeing what's in the world before we choose ourselves a bit of a base location. And already we're able to upgrade ourselves to the stone pickaxe, which is always good, and we can get ourselves some early game copper. Now this copper is actually super useful, so what I'm going to do is completely waste the rest of this stone pickaxe just mining out a load of cobble here, because we're going to need that. Oh, look at that, we found ourselves some coal as well. That's actually really useful at this stage of the game. There is more copper there, but we don't need just that much yet. I'll show you why in just a second, but let's get back up here first. And what we can do now is make ourselves up a furnace, which is awesome. And I wonder if this pack has the tiny coal. I guess we need to check that out. It doesn't. Sometimes packs have it where you can turn coal into tiny coal. Maybe that's going to come in the future. But for now, what we're going to do is put our 8 copper in here and smelt them down. And one of the reasons for that is if we type in shears here in the JEI, you see we've got these copper shears right here. So in making the copper shears up, we can then get ourselves some wool, which will be super useful. So 2 copper is all we need to get ourselves some shears made. And the journey map in the top right of the screen right now shows the icons of mobs. So we can see, for example, there are sheep over in this direction to get ourselves an early game bed and sleeping bag and get off to a good start. Now, I completed quite a few quests while I was doing that without even really meaning to, but it's always good to make sure we go and get all of the resources for that stuff because, for example, there we got a load of wood. You often get things that are quite useful. Now, when you're hovering over the chapters on the left-hand side here, it also comes up with exclamation marks if there are quests you have completed. So in making the furnace, we completed a couple of quests, and this one gave us a load of copper ore, which is pretty cool, and also is like an introduction into this whole section here that looks like it's all about different furnaces. So the cool thing about all the mods packs is, as you'd imagine, they do have a ton of mods. And you can see there all the different furnace options, for example, and it's going to be a really fun pack to play through, I think, because we're just going to have so many options of different things to do. And look, there's our sheep over there, so let's go get that and we'll be set up for the evening. I decided to search for some red flowers because, as we all know, it is always better to have red beds and red sleeping bags in Minecraft. So we're going to make up our red wool, and in doing so we can have, wait, what? I swear this was a thing. Oh, okay. I think the recipe is actually this way for some reason. There it is, the red sleeping bag. There we go. So that's pretty good. We've got our sleeping bag, and now we can pass nighttime. If you don't know what the sleeping bag does, it's the same as a bed. You just sleep in it and pass nighttime, but it doesn't reset your spawn point. So you can have a bed in a different area so that if you die, then you won't respawn where the sleeping bag was, but where your bed currently is. Now I'm going to move my home location to up here because I think this is a good little spot for us. We've got some water here where we can go adventuring nearby, so I kind of like that. What I want to do now is make up a couple of chests here because, as you can see, in my inventory is already getting a little bit clogged. So I want to start to leave some stuff here that we're not going to need. So for now, let's put everything in there and then figure out what we want to take with us. So I think I'll make myself up a boat because that's going to be very useful, obviously, for exploring. And also we're going to need to make up a sword. That's obviously a bit of a must-have. And oh, looks like it's actually time to sleep. So there we go. This is how the sleeping bag works. We just put it down on the floor there and we're good to go. And we awake on another fine morning here in All the Mods 10, and we're going to get ourselves a few more bits to go traveling with. Anything that is food right now, we're going to take with us because you can see these here, they're not really going to do much food replenishing. I mean, the steak's very good, so we'll take that. But the rest of the stuff that we're finding, it's just going to be like giving us a little bit of hunger and saturation fulfillment. So what I want to do is take a lot of that with me because we're going to need it for our trip. Now, it looks like currently there are no backpacks in the game from what I can find when searching. Now, this will probably be updated later on, just seeing if it's called something different. There's no satchels. What about a sack maybe? Yeah, okay, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but again, this is a beta version. In the future version, I'm sure they'll add those in. They are super useful for when we are traveling, so it's a little bit disappointing if we don't have them, but we'll make the most of what we do have. So with everything we should need, I am now going to head off and do a little bit of exploring. What we'd really love to find is a village. That would be the best possible thing, I would say, because they're going to give us, you know, a ton of resources early on. But any interesting structures, and there's one just here, are all going to warrant a bit of exploration and get ourselves a ton of resources to get us off to a good start. Now we're getting ourselves a bit of sugarcane here, which will be quite useful, I'm sure, so we'll pick that up. And there is a loot barrel here with some stuff in, so we're actually off to a pretty good start at this structure already. I love that there's a bit of hay here because it's really useful for early game food, both for us and also for animals if we end up taming some animals and that sort of thing. Oh, look at that, our first bit of iron, that's awesome. And yeah, a couple of useful bits in here. I'm sure some things we'll use. Now, there's a ton of books up here. Wow, like a ton of books. Okay, so that's going to be really useful. We could take down all these bookshelves if we wanted. This will be really helpful for, like, if we want to get into enchanting, right? So maybe we'll look to do that. But for now, I think I'll just explore all these different chests and things, and we might get the books on the way back down. There's actually a bed in here, and it's a red bed, so it's a proper Minecraft bed. So we can take that one as well. We'll need a bed at some point, so we just as well. We've picked up a bit of a lantern there. We've also got this enchanted hoe, which is interesting. And right at the top of the structure, there's one final loot chest with an apple and some arrows and stuff in there. So yeah, pretty decent haul, I would say. Also, this is a great vantage point for us to look out for other things that might be of interest and see what's around here. So it doesn't look like there's much around here, but just over in that direction there is where we're living right now. That's where our chest is and stuff. I think that's a really nice location, actually, so I'm pretty happy with that one that we chose. So after exploring this tower, I can safely say there were no mobs in there, so if you guys are looking in your own worlds, then you can explore these safely. I just realized I didn't check the other side here for this, so there is actually another chest on this side, And I think that's it. Yeah, 1 on each side. But this is the loot that we got. So pretty cool. We got some unique things here, like these skeleton skulls, for example. That's pretty cool. And just like a ton of other stuff like hay and wheat and all that sort of stuff, bit of string. Now, as you can see, our inventory is already full. So this is the issue with not having a backpack. We're going to have to look into storage options. Actually, just before I do /home, let's go ahead and pick up my boat, because that's going to be quite useful. And let's just teleport home from the bottom of the ocean. Why not? So we can put everything in here. Let's see, we want to keep the food on us, but everything else can go in here. And as you can see, we're already starting to fill up. So let's have a look and see what the storage options are under the quest line. So there's in fact a whole storage section here under applied energistics 2. The only thing is, this is going to be quite advanced, I think, to get into this in the first episode. So this is something that we'll look to get onto later, but probably not something we're doing today. So in terms of a backpack, I did find a potential solution, which is this right here, the personal chest. So if we click on that and do Shift+N, we get a description. It says a 54 slot chest that can be opened from your own inventory. So essentially that is a backpack. Now, obviously the chests and glass are fine to get. Just have a look at the basic control thing. Okay, so we have to make a metallurgic infuser, and then we would need osmium and we'd need redstone. So we need to do a bit of mining to get that. And what else? These steel ingots. Now, if we want to make up steel, we can make it from a steel compound, which is iron and coal. If we press backspace, it takes us back to here, and then we simply smelt that down. So actually, mechanism won't be too difficult to get into. And rather than doing more exploring, I think I want to get into doing the backpack first. So I might look to like dig into the cave up here or the mountain up here and get a bit of like a bed going and a mine and stuff like that. And in fact, we got a bit lucky there, because already I can see there's a bit of surface iron just there and coal. And what is that? Is that that might be osmium? Let's go and have a little look. It's actually tin, but tin is going to be quite useful to us as well. So let's get a bit of mining going on here, get this stuff together, and then find ourselves a little bit of a place where we want to live. So just here is where I want to live. I've dug a little bit of a hole here into the mountain. And the first thing I was thinking is we want to get ourselves a bit of an interesting door, right? We don't want to have a boring door. We want to have a nice door to our entrance. So what I did, go onto the journey map right here. We've got this little waypoint because there's some trees here that look like they're going to be kind of interesting. So we're going to go for a door made out of whatever that is. So here we are in this weird and wonderful forest. And I've been picking up a bit of the wood that's here. So this is magnolia logs. And actually not entirely sure whether we can even make a door out of these, but let's find out. It's cool red wood anyway that we can build out of. Yeah, there we go. Magnolia door. So we can have a door that's not just a boring door, but it's kind of a red door. I guess that's what we're going with. Just found this. I'm not entirely sure what it is. It says it's an ore geyser there from Zycraft World, and that we can mine it with the current tool. And I was like, well, I have to mine it while I'm here. But yeah, let's see, find out what we're actually going to get from this. So, oh, they just got rid of it. I mean, we get some dripstone out of it. Okay, well, that's that. I guess if you guys are wondering, now you know what that is. Well, there's a witch over there and a witch's hut. Okay, there's like a new biome over here. It's pretty fun to explore, actually. I've only done a little bit of exploring so far, but it's been thoroughly enjoyable. And having the /set home and /home commands are just so nice, because when you're exploring, you know, you only have to do half of the running, and then you can just teleport home when you're ready. And we're going to do that right now and install our new door. So we've gone /home, and just up here somewhere is where we started to dig in. So yeah, here we go. There's the door. That's going to be the door to our house. It kind of looks a little bit like one of those London phone boxes, right? Like if you had 4 of them, maybe. Maybe not. Well, here is my home, guys, and it is something of a hobbit hole of a home, as you can see, just dug into the side of the mountain here. But I have to say, it's kind of nice. It feels very homely. We have a little bench for sitting outside, you know, smoking pipes, waiting for Gandalf, all that sort of stuff. But inside, we have actually got a fair bit of functionality. So just passing on to the inside, we've got our fireplace over here and our bed set up. So we have a permanent spawn point there. I always like to have a chest by the bed with like my current use things. So all of my tools and weapons and stuff like that. Then just around this way, we have a storage area, which is going to need to be vastly expanded pretty soon, but it does the job for now. And we have a little window out to the world with quite a nice view actually out through that window. And then heading down this way is where we're going to do our mining. So on the right hand side here, I put in a couple of furnaces to smelt the things that we get. And over on this side, we're going to have our diamond level mine. And then over on this side, we might have a different level mine in the future. I was just looking through the quests that I completed, and one of them is under the railcraft section here, which is just to get an iron ingot. You get to choose your rewards. You can see the different ones there. So I chose these 6 steel ingots, as you can see right there. So actually, this is going to really help us, because we only need 5 steel ingots in order to make this chest up, which is our personal chest. And that's why I'm mentioning it, because it's a shortcut if you too want to get a backpack in this way by using the mechanism personal chest. So now that we have all the steel that we need, all we need to look at now is what do we need here for the basic control circuit. And it's going to need us to make the metallurgic infuser. Now for that, we will also need to get some redstone and some osmium. So let's have a look at the what the recipe is for this. Okay, metallurgic infuser, here we go right here. Let's go ahead and keep that recipe over there. But it's pretty simple. Again, just redstone and osmium needed. So we've just made our life a lot easier in terms of what our progression is going to be in order to get to that mechanism backpack. So the next thing for us to do is start our mining adventure, and we're going to dig down this way. I've got a sign and a water bucket right here so we can create a drop. And it's useful having /home because we don't have to make a way back up. Now, what we can do is if we select the ultimine button and then we shift, we see here we get these different shapes that will come up. So for example, we can do there a small tunnel for mining and it says 64 blocks. You see that's going to go down 64 blocks by doing it this way. So now if we just do the ultimine thing and we dig that out, boom, there we go. It's all the way down there, and it's going to really help us to get to where we're going a lot faster in order to make this drop mine. So again, I thought I'd mention this in case you guys want to do the same sort of thing. I'm actually realizing I almost forgot to take a torch with me, so let's grab one of those so we can light it up down the bottom. And what we can do now is just grab this water out and fall down safely. And once we get to the bottom, then we'll just do the same thing again until we're at the Y level we want to be at. Now, of course, if you don't want to die, you can simply make yourself a little hole like this, stand here, and if I'll do that so you guys can see what I'm doing. But we can once again just make our tunnel going down that way, just like that. Make sure there's no lava, and then we're good. Now, I didn't have much durability left on my pick, which is why it didn't go as far. But you guys get the point. Okay, now I did manage to die as I was falling down here, but I've managed to get back after a little bit of time, and we can see where we are here. Now, let's quickly grab ourselves some blocks out so we can block this off and be a little bit safer. But yes, we have found, guys, an abandoned mine shaft. Now, I think that's pretty cool, and what I think I'll do is I'll create like a drop down here for now, and then we can keep exploring this because we could get a ton of different materials and loot this way. So I'll keep you posted along the way if there's anything interesting that we find, but yeah, pretty handy dropping into one of these. So it's looking like it's a really big mine shaft actually, so that's pretty awesome and might be something we explore. Oh wait, is that diamonds? Hey, look at that. We found our first diamonds. That was really good timing. I just turned the recording on again to mention the fact that there's tons of osmium and redstone around here, as you guys are seeing, and we found our first diamonds. So that's pretty. Wait, hold on, I need to change the shape of this once again. But yeah, so this could be like a really useful thing for us to do over a longer period of time, not just in today's episode, but in the future as well, and get ourselves a ton of the resources that we need. Now, I'm also noticing that I am almost dying, which is pretty bad, but we did just complete a quest there, so that's good, and it's just from playing through the game normally, getting the stuff that we need for our other stuff. And you can see that was a mechanism quest, and mechanism is obviously what we're about to get into for the backpack and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty good. We're heading in the right direction all round, I would say. Now, well, I'll keep exploring this for a little bit more, but I'm really excited to get into the mechanism side of things and have that backpack, just because I know how useful that is going to be to us throughout the rest of the game. Now, we have one of these loot minecarts here, so let's see what we're going to get from this one. Oh, wow. Oh, I thought it was a diamond pick. It's oxidized copper. Okay, well, still good, I guess. And a ton of other stuff, some compressed iron, and iron is also quite useful to us at the moment. This is an interesting one. Converts, track, and switches. Okay, this is a railcraft thing. That's cool. Compressed iron boots. That's good because we don't have any armor at all. And a name tag for that cat that we're going to name later on. So that's pretty awesome as well. We've once again completed a few quests, and we've got an interesting one here. We found this just in the mine shaft there. So we can now choose our reward once again. I'm very tempted to keep going for steel here. I think that steel is probably the most difficult of all those things there to get. So when we have an option like that, then that's what we want to go for. Interestingly, I think we just got 3 minecarts there for finding one. Once again, we got the choice. We're going to keep going that steel, but we are building up a ton of steel in doing this, so that's pretty cool. For finding redstone, we get experience. For finding diamond, we get experience. Oh, and a random reward. Okay, and we got ourselves some universal pipe. Okay, well, let's have a look at that a second. From pipes. Okay, I mean, yeah, I'm sure it will have its uses. I think there might still be another quest or two. Yes, there is at least one down here. And this is a mechanism one, so that's good. It gives us a bit of extra osmium there just for finding osmium, and it's the start of the mechanism progression that we're looking to get through, so that's pretty good. And really, we can go through this progression. We can find, we can smelt down our osmium to get this one, which will be good and give us even more osmium. We can also do this and make a heat generator. That'll be for early game power, which will be useful. And then go to the metallurgic infuser, which is just there. So let's do that. Let's go along this mechanism quest line. So when we take this osmium out of here, we should get a quest complete. Yep, there we go. And that is this one right here, which gives us some more osmium and also a bit of experience. Now, the next thing is to make the heat generator. So let's see how close we are to actually being able to do that. Let's see, here's the heat generator. We're going to need some iron, some copper, some wood. And I think I've got most of that stuff. Here's my copper, here's a bit of iron. We certainly have a ton of wood. I guess we'll just use up some of this right now. I'm assuming it doesn't matter what type of wood it is, but yeah, we'll just make up a load of those. And if we try and make the heat generator now, there we go. It is made. So this is another quest complete. We should get a few little things for that. Again, a bit of osmium and some XP, so that's good. And now we can make up the metallurgic infuser, which is what we wanted to do anyway. And looks like we're going to get a choice reward here, of which those basic control circuits, that's actually what we need anyway for the next thing we're trying to make. So that's actually really useful. So let's grab our redstone out. I think we might have everything else we need. Yep, there we go. There's the metallurgic infuser right there. And with that quest complete, if we click here, we get a bit of redstone and experience. But this one right here, or did it give us all of that? Or I thought it was going to be a choice. Let's have a look here. Oh, I think it's just a random reward. So we got this one right here, the advanced ones, which isn't the ones we need. But it doesn't really matter because we can make up something with the metallurgic infuser anyway. Now, where am I going to put this thing? I think does it need power? Let's just like place it down here for now and just see if we can use it. So if we remember here, this is what we're trying to make, which is just osmium and redstone that goes in here. So the redstone goes in for fuel, and then the osmium, we should put in like, I don't know, maybe 4 of those. And okay, yeah, it is going to need some power. Okay, so did I have any more redstone? No, and I'm worried if I pick this up, it's going to lose the redstone that's in it. But you know what? I'll test it out, and then you guys will know. Let's do it and put it back down. Okay, it keeps its redstone inventory. That's pretty good. We're going to need to get this set up outside somewhere with the heat generator nearby for the power. So what I'm thinking is if we go ahead and put a lava bucket down in there like that, then we grab our heat generator here and put it above. Is that going to start generating? Oh, you actually just put the lava inside. I made this really difficult for myself when I didn't need to. Okay, please don't fall in the lava. All right, we're good. And let's pick that back up. So the heat generator goes there, the lava bucket goes in. Okay, that should produce power now. We put the metallurgic infuser next to it, and we put in a bit of osmium here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it says there's not enough energy to operate, so it's taken all of that energy. Might just be a case of it needs more energy than we've actually produced here. Although none of this seems to be going, so maybe there's a way I can do this. Okay, so I found that by making these basic universal cables, we can transfer the power across, and that was the issue. It wasn't auto outputting. The cables incidentally have to go on the front side where there's a little green square. If you put them on any other side, they won't connect up, just like this. So I tried a couple of different options. So yeah, do make sure you get that right. If we go onto these and look at the recipe, pretty simple, just a couple of steel and a redstone, so that's not too bad. Now, we now have these things, the basic control circuits, and in fact, that is a quest complete, is it? Looks like. Oh yeah, this one right here is complete. So we get some stuff from that, and this one right here, because I think they'd already given us those in a random chance reward. So yeah, we got a couple of bits out of that, which is pretty good. Now, the whole point of all of this is so that we can make up this thing. So this is the next thing we want to do. Let's go home and do that. Okay, so if we click here, what are we missing? Just 1 glass, which we have plenty of glass. I made some up. So now we can make up this right here. And boom, there we go. We have made up our personal chest. Okay, so I right-click the chest. It said we own it. You can see it there in chat. I right-click it again. You see here it's now storage, and we can right-click that at any point, and it opens it up. So this is basically like a backpack for now. And it's pretty big, to be fair. It's a decent size, certainly enough to be exploring with. As I say, backpacks probably will be added to the version of the game when it's out of beta. But for now, this is the way we can go about it. So one cool thing about having this backpack is we can now do some exploring. And while I've been out, I found myself a village here, and it looks pretty cool, like a different type of village to what we're used to seeing. So yeah, we can see here all the different buildings and stuff look quite unique. I won't show you guys the whole village, just trying to give you a bit of an overview here so you can see how it looks and stuff like that. If we find anything cool, then I'll let you know, but we'll probably just have a little look at the end. What I'm really hoping to get out of this is, I guess, like food and maybe some unique items from loot chests, but let's see what we find. All right, we're back to our hobbit hole, guys, after exploring that village, and it was quite the exploration, let me tell you. And it's turning nighttime, so let's actually do this inside in case any mobs come. But if we open our personal chest here, you see we got a ton of stuff. Some things of note that are pretty cool. I found these roller skates, which sound pretty fun. We've got an angler's hat, which gives us extra luck of the sea and lure when fishing, so that sounds cool. We've also got this, an umbrella. So this is supposed to slow our fall damage and can also be used as a shield. So that sounds pretty fun. We've also got a load of different saplings for like bananas, coconuts, figs, persimmon, lemons. So yeah, when we get into farming and stuff, that's going to be good. And talking of that, we actually got a ton of food from here as well, and a load of emeralds and stuff. Basically, just a ton of very useful early game things. So really useful that we got through the... oh, wait, did I just have that? Yeah, there we go. We can hold our umbrella. Incidentally, this is because I'm wearing armor, and I mentioned about how my resource pack hasn't been updated. That's what the umbrella looks like. Yeah, so the mechanism chest and finding that village was super, super useful. And the mechanism chest in particular, because that's probably something that will keep on us for the rest of the game, and it'll just really help us out. As you can see, I've added a bit of an expansion to this base. It's still going to need a bit of extra decoration and stuff, but essentially our base was a little bit small. We needed a bit more room. So we've got this whole upstairs area right now that we can build in. And right now I've got this here, which is just some temporary storage, but we can get lots of like machines and stuff going on. You can see there's a ladder here that just connects up to the bottom bit, so it's all part of the same complex. And I think it was nice to keep it, as part of the mountain and keep building in like that. So with that done, we've got our cat spawn egg here, and I'm not sure if the cat is going to run off, but let's just place the cat down and see what happens. And yes, immediately the cat ran off because it's not been tamed, so I probably should have thought about that. Yeah, I guess for now, this cat will just run around on the island, and if you want to suggest names down in the comments, do so, and I'll do my best to try and catch it and name it, but until we got enough fish and stuff, I guess we can't really tame it. Now, one thing I thought would be cool to get into is getting a bit of coffee made up. I love coffee in real life, and sometimes I like to do things in the mod pack that are just a bit fun rather than always being functional. Now, you can see here that to make up coffee, we're going to need a glass bottle, which is easy to get, and an all-purpose food press, which is also fairly simple to make up, but we're also, of course, going to need some coffee beans, and that is where this thing comes in. Now, this is going to be very useful to us throughout the rest of the playthrough. You can see it can be made with just a bit of wood and also some wool, and we can basically buy things here, like all different crops and stuff like that. So let me make one of those up, and then I'll show you guys how this works. So I believe we have everything that we need now. Oh, we're missing the red wool. Okay, yeah, so I was wondering, it is actually, it does have to be red wool, not just any type of wool, but now that's done, we can make up our market. Now, where do I want to put this? I guess for now, we could just put this out here somewhere. Let me have a little thing. Actually, here looks like a really good spot that we could put this. So what I'm going to do is just dig this out a bit and make it look a little bit nicer, and then we'll place it down, and you'll see why I'm doing this in just a second. Okay, so what we can do now is place the market block just down here like this, and you can hear that tunneling noise, and there we go. There comes our weathered salesperson. And by right-clicking here, we can search for all kinds of things. Oh, they don't have coffee? Oh, that's such a shame. So basically these coffee beans right here, I was hoping to be able to get them. Let's have a look from the coffee beans that we need here from productive trees. You can see here that they do have a coffee sapling, and that's how we can get coffee beans, but oh, it's a shame. It looks like they don't have them. So I think this is something that might be added in later versions of this game, because right now it looks like they pretty much just have the vanilla stuff, right? Nothing extra. So yeah, maybe we'll be able to get those in a future version. Either way, it's kind of cool to have this guy here as our little trader, and it's actually a use for this little bit of gap that we had in our build. So it looks like we won't be having coffee just for the now. However, we do have some good food at the moment, which is toast. And the recipe for this is basically just smelting down the bread. So it's a really useful one. You can see there the bread gives you 2.5 hunger, 3 saturation, whereas this one right here gives you a lot more of both. And it just means you need to use up a bit of fuel to smelt it down, so it's quite simple to do that. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to need to mine that mine shaft out later to get a lot more resources. And one of the things I'd really like to make are called free runners. So let's have a look at these free runners here from Mechanism. You can see they're not too difficult to make, right? Some basic circuits, which we've already made. A couple of these infused alloys, which is just a bit of iron and redstone, and also a couple of energy tablets. We'll need some gold for that. So I'm going to do a little bit of mining right now. And rather than doing the whole thing on camera, because it'd probably be quite boring, I'm just going to get my stuff together and do a bit of a montage of me clearing out this mine shaft, getting a load of resources, and then making up these free runners. Now, one of the reasons that we want these free runners is because once we're wearing them, we won't take any fall damage. So that would be really, really useful. And we're already into Mechanism a bit, so charging them shouldn't be too difficult. Now, just before I go mining, I want to get some better armor. And I thought it was worth mentioning this, which is osmium armor. So we've got the chest plate as an example here. You can see there +8 armor and +3 toughness, which is actually the same as netherite. So osmium is a lot easier to get, especially early game, and it's a really good armor to use when you're starting out in the game because you can mine it. I mean, we're on the first few days here, whereas netherite would take a lot longer. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got quite a lot of osmium, as you can see here. You just make it in the same way you make all of the normal recipes as well, so there's nothing special to doing it. But certainly covering myself in this is going to really help me when I'm mining. Well, on top of that, it actually looks pretty cool as well if we do this. You can see right here, I don't mind the look of that at all, although my eyes are a little bit hidden. But other than that, it looks pretty good. On top of that, you can also make up osmium tools. So for example, an osmium pickaxe right here can be made up. Now, I'm not sure exactly what an osmium pickaxe can mine. I'm assuming though it's pretty high level. So we're going to give that one a try. And once I'm down in the mines, I'll let you guys know if it can mine sort of diamond and obsidian and that sort of thing. Definitely worth having. The other thing that we're going to want to make up later on is an ore hammer. Now, you can make these out of all different things. You see it starts at copper and goes up to a platinum being the best. And you just need 18 of whatever it is because you need 2 blocks. So 18 platinum, for example, or starting just at copper. Now, this is a way of early ore doubling. So we're going to get into that once we've done our mining trip. I've already got almost 2 blocks. In fact, with this copper here as well, we have got 2 blocks of copper. So we can make one of those up and basically just double our ores in the early game. So that's actually really useful too.
I'm slowly fading through the smoke. I can't hear Then it's quiet. 'Cause they are lying. Oh, so quiet. They are lying. Lately I have learned that they come and they go just as fast. They are slowly fading through the smoke and
Now, incidentally, this is my osmium pickaxe, and as you can see from the top there with the red X, it is not able to mine obsidian. So looks like it mines pretty much everything up to that point. I haven't found anything yet that I couldn't mine. But obsidian will still require diamonds, so the osmium is not quite as strong as a diamond pickaxe would be. So at the end of that trip, you can see we got an absolute ton of stuff here, and I'm not going to go through all of it, but some things to note are the diamonds. We got 12 spare, and I made up a diamond pickaxe while I was down there, and that was so I could get some platinum. We got 36 platinum right there, and yeah, just a ton of other stuff. So this is really going to set us up nicely now to progress through some more quests and things, and obviously we're building towards making up those free runners, which is the next thing we want to do. So what I'm going to do actually is get these free runners here, and if you press A, the recipes save over here, and you can press A on them again to get rid of them, in case you didn't know that, but it can be really useful just to keep them there. So I'm going to organize all of my storage right now as best as I can, and then we'll look to make those up, and I'll show you them in action once we've charged them up. Now, on top of all the resources and the 40 levels that we now have from doing that mining, we also completed a few quests. So we got this one right here, the gearing up quest from getting the diamond pick that we made. So we get experience from that, and also a couple of extra diamonds, which is always very good. Also on the bounty board here, we've got this one right here, which is kill 5 skeletons, and we get some rewards for that. And then we killed 10 in total, so we got this one as well. Oh, and this is going to be a random chance reward. All right, let's see. What do we get? We got a furnace spookulator. What on earth is that? And in fact, getting that meant that we actually completed another quest because we got the spookulator thing, and that's going to give us a spooky pumpkin, it says right here. So maybe this spooky pumpkin can live somewhere outside of our base. We'll put it up here next to this dude right here. Provide a bit of light as well. Yeah, why not? With my base set up, it's a good idea to press E and go into this right here, the FTB Chunks Claim Manager. And what we can do is just select these chunks here that are around my base. Now what this will do is protect them, and let's say a creeper were to explode, for example, then it won't do any creeper damage, any explosion damage. It'll still kill us, but at least our stuff would be safe. Another thing that we can do in here as well is if we shift and click, then we'll get this little lined aesthetic right here. This means these chunks are now claimed. So any of my machines and furnaces and stuff like that, if I'm very far away from my base, this area is still chunk claimed, and when we come back, we'll have had all our stuff smelted and all the machines working and stuff like that. Now I mentioned the ore hammer, and we're going to make one of those up right now. So we just need 3 sticks and a couple of copper in this case. That's the cheapest one, so that's what we're going to do. And if we place that down there, we've got ourselves a copper ore hammer. Now, if we grab something like, for example, this raw iron right here, I think 64 is the durability. I think this will actually break it. But if we do the whole thing, there we go. We got 128 iron dust from it. Now, on top of that, we've actually completed a quest somewhere as well. So let's see where's that. Let's right here. And we get some copper dust, iron dust, and some XP for doing that as well. So that's pretty useful. Now, you do still have to smelt down the dust, of course, but it's still going to be double, and it's just a simple early game way of doubling the amount of ore that you get when you're mining. So we now have everything we need to make up these free runners right here. So there we go. We can make those up. And I think if we just put those on right away, what will happen is it gives you auto jump. So let's see, if I'm not going to press spacebar, if I just run up to this, yeah, you auto jump as if you're on a horse, right? So you can just go up like this without having to use spacebar. Now this will actually save you a bit of stamina as well for your food early game. But the main thing I wanted it for was the fall damage. Now this is working right now for the auto jump, but the boots have no charge at all. That means the full damage will not work. So in order to get the full damage to work, we do have to charge them. Now I'm just looking at this here, the charge pad, which is from Mechanism, but if we shift N, it does say that it's universal and can charge any energized item from any mod. So this should be a good thing for us to get into if we can make it up. Now this right here isn't too difficult to make. What I'm struggling with at the moment is to make these infused alloys and things, we have to use the metallurgic infuser. And we're having a bit of an issue with the power because we're powering it by using the heat chamber or heat generator, but it's taken 64 logs just to make up one of those things. Let's see if I go into this here. One of these infused alloys, one process of this takes about 64 logs worth of energy. So yeah, it's quite expensive at the moment. If we had a good lava source, it wouldn't be as bad, but I guess it's fine for early games. So I'm gonna need to make up a few things here. but I think this charge pad is going to be the way to go. Now, in order to make up the charger from Mechanism, you can see right here, part of it needs polished blackstone pressure plates, which we of course get from Blackstone. And I believe the only place we can go where we can get that is the Nether. So I'm going to come down here and make up a Nether portal, and that's going to be what we're going to have to do. It's a little bit scary. The Nether always can be a little bit difficult in mod packs, but hopefully we're going to be all right. I'm hoping not to have to be there too long as well. We're just going to go in, hopefully get some of the Blackstone, and then return. So wish me luck. Here we go. Okay, what is our spawn like? Well, terrifying. Yeah, this is really not great. We're just up in the middle of the air with no real easy way of getting down. And there's lava all around us. Yeah, this really isn't great. I wonder, does /home work from the Nether? Let's see, it does. Okay, that's cool. I think we also completed a quest here, so that's pretty good. Get a ton of XP, and also we got a gold chest plate, so that'll be useful. We can now put that on, because we're going to need some gold armor while we're in there. And what I'm thinking we might be able to do is, if I can find it, use the umbrella for now to prevent our fall damage, the one that we found earlier on. Yep, there it is right there. So yeah, I need to test this out in the overworld first before I test it in the Nether, because I'm not sure if it actually entirely prevents fall damage or not. So let's give this a go from here. Let's hold on to this and jump off. Yeah, okay, so we actually fall really, really slowly when we use the umbrella. Okay, cool. Well, we'll give this a go in the Nether, and as I say, I just want to get a little bit of blackstone and then get back out of there. I was not planning to do the Nether in today's episode, but I do really want to get that charge pad. Now, it looks like that could be some blackstone just down there, but I'm not sure if I can get across to this or not. Let's see. Maybe if we jump down from over here. Yeah, this probably should be okay. If we go up this way a little bit, then we can jump down here just like this, and we're saving our fall damage. So actually really handy that we found that umbrella earlier. And let's see, the blackstone I think was just underneath here somewhere. So yeah, let's jump down onto there and we'll mine ourselves a bit of blackstone. I think I need like not very much at all, so we'll just get a little bit of this and then head off. And in fact, now I can stand on this netherite right here. We can just go ahead and do a vein mine of it, get whatever we can, and do /home, so we should be good. Okay, so we've got everything we need now for the charge pad. Let's go ahead and make that one there up, which is pretty good, and that should be a quest complete. Yep, there we go. So let's go upstairs, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to place this for now. Maybe if I put it there. Yeah, it connects up to the piping like that, because obviously we have to give this power, which will come from here. And again, this is not an ideal situation, but it's just an early game thing. Now, let's see. If we go to quests right now under Mechanism, what did we get for completing that? Okay, so there's like a random reward there and some XP. So that random reward, what did it give me? I guess steel? Actually, maybe I had that on me. Might have just given me some osmium or something. Not entirely sure what reward we got from that, but whatever it is, I guess it's all good. Now, the cool thing about this is just standing on it will charge any any item from any mod. So it's going to be very useful. Let me go and get some power in this thing, and then we'll try and charge up our free runners, and we'll test out the fall damage and what the durability is like in terms of the power that they use up. What we want to do is go ahead and just pick up the metallurgic infuser for a second, so that all the power we put into the heat generator, which has got, let's see, 60 logs right there, plus another 11 here we're going to put in. We want it all to go into this charge pad, right? And just test how much we can charge this up. So let's grab our boots, and let's see right here. It looks like it can hold 25.6 kFE. In here right now, we have only 4 kFE, so not a lot, but let's go ahead and stand on here. And did it charge them up? Yes, indeed it did. So let's go up somewhere high and test this out in terms of the durability, or I guess power, however you want to think of it, that is used up every time we fall. Okay, so we're going to jump just off here. Conveniently, I have this near my base. So 4.07 kFE, and if we go ahead and jump down here, yep, there we go. No fall damage. Okay, that's awesome. And right now, 3.81 kFE. So I guess it is significant the amount it uses up. However, it only uses it up every time we fall. So if you use that sparingly, then we should be okay. Obviously, in the future as well, we'll have... Oh, was that the... Can I jump higher with these? No, I think it was just the auto run thing doing its thing, sort of auto jump feature that you have with these boots once you wear them. A really useful section of the quests early on in the game is this one right here, the tips and tricks. So if we click on this right here, it just says useful tips and tricks, which is what you might expect. So that's just a click through quest. Then you've got this one right here, which is you get if you complete all of the tips. And basically, they're pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So first of all, they start talking about power. I'll probably go into power in more detail in the next episode, and we will look at getting into power as our way of doing that. So that one is just a click through. But after that, we've got things here like, for example, making the tool belt and going into the crafting bench on the stick, which we've done. But we can also have a smithing table and an anvil on a stick too. So I'm going to work through a few of these right now, and let's start with this tool belt. As you can see, it just requires a bit of leather, string, and 1 iron. So these are all pretty early game quests that we can get into, I think, and we should be able to complete all these today. So I think we have everything to make the tool belt right now. So let's go ahead and make that one and complete the quest. for which we are going to get a belt pouch and also some XP. So let's see here. Is this like a curio, or what exactly can we do with this? So if we right click here, I'm guessing we can keep our tools in there, right? That makes sense. Okay, I want to have a look at making the anvil on a stick, and I've got a reason for this. So it's literally just one stick that we need and an anvil, so that's great because I already found an anvil whilst traveling. This is part of another quest that we can do, so it's useful for that. But when we're here, I think what we can do is actually put this in like this. Yeah, there we go. So we can upgrade this once and again, and it takes levels to do so. But now this is going to be able to hold up to 4 tools. So we've got those 2 right there, but we could also put in, let's just say, I don't know, some shears for now, and maybe our chisel. I'm just trying to test this out from it. I don't really care what we put in. So now that's done, if we go into escape and into controls and keybinds, if we see here the tool swap thing here is R. Now, unfortunately, that is conflicted with other things. So what we're going to do is search for the key of R, just like that. And anything else that's set to R right now, we're going to get rid of. So that was an R, show recipe. Oh, that's actually kind of useful. Well, we've got JEI, so we'll just change it for now. I just want to try and figure out how this thing works, and we'll change that as well. So now just swap tool should be set to R. So in my inventory, am I able to switch this, or okay, so I think this might just be an issue at the moment where it's one of the early game bugs because we're still in beta. So that will probably come in handy later on, and I'm not sort of upset that I made it. But once that does work, you can quickly switch between all your tools, which just makes it so much easier. You can keep a lot of tools on you, so it does have that use. Now, in the meantime, we'll see what else we want to do here. So a smithing table. I think I actually found one of those while I was out traveling. So let's see, I've got all these different things. Yep, smithing table right there. So we're going to go through just completing these quests. They're fairly simple quests to complete, but obviously they can be quite useful as well. Now, there's a couple I'm really interested in. The building gadget one. How difficult is it to make a building gadget? Okay, so it does require some diamond gears, which would be 8 diamond. Also some netherite, so we're not going to be able to complete that one just yet. That is pretty useful though. Personal shrinking device, that's pretty fun. But easy villagers, this looks really, really cool. So I'd like to look into this one. So if we search for easy villagers in JEI, you can see here we have all types of different contraptions. So you can have a trader, for example, and we can create like this little unit for them, a farmer, a breeder, all this sort of stuff. So we want to try this out, and I think a trader is going to be a good one to try out to start us off. The reason for that is because we do have some iron and redstone in here, so we can make this pretty easily. And glass panes, I think, was the other thing. So yeah, that trader one we can make. There we go. Now, let's see, is it, yeah, it's nighttime right now. We'll have a snooze, and then I'll head back to that village that we found earlier, and we'll try this out. I just wanted to quickly mention something. I've put the waypoint on here for my village, which I made when I went over there. So if I go to my waypoints, you'll see I've got 2 at the moment, one for my home, one for the village. Now, I've got this button right here, teleport, which is only available because I've allowed cheats on in the world. The reason I've done that is because I want to go into spectator mode to show you things, like, for example, when I've shown you the builds that we did earlier on with the house and stuff, and also for making thumbnails for the YouTube videos. Having spectator mode is really useful for that. But I won't actually use cheats in the game at all, unless like some sort of, because there's still bugs and stuff with it being beta. If something were to happen where I, for some reason, had to use cheats, maybe if I couldn't get home, or a machine was like destroying the world or something like that, something crazy like that, then yeah, I would use them, obviously. Did that come back out? I have to just drag it, I guess. All right, all my tools are stuck in my tool belt. But yeah, I just wanted to clear that up and explain sort of why that was available, and also why you won't see the ability to teleport if you're playing with cheats turned off in your own worlds. Okay, so at the village, and the first thing that this mod supposedly does is we can sneak and right click. Yeah, look at that, and we can pick up villagers, and we're holding a shepherd right now. That's pretty awesome, and we can just right click to put him back down. Actually, this villager might be a good one, because with just trading wool for emeralds, I mean, that would be pretty simple to do. However, let me check something real quick. Yeah, there's no shipping bin, so the shipping containers can be quite useful, because you can sell things like that you produce for emeralds. There's none of that. Actually, while we're here, see, nutmeg, date. I'm just wondering if there's going to be a coffee sapling. Be pretty lucky. I'm assuming that there isn't going to be one. And indeed there isn't, but these might be useful for other things. So I guess we just need to find a villager that we want to take home with us. This one could be good, right? Because we could trade here the carrots and things for emeralds, so that one might be useful. Let me have a look around and see which one we want to take. And actually, it just occurred to me, we can just pick up a few, right? I might only have the one habitat right now, but let's just take a few villagers with us and take them all home and store them for now. I assume we can store them inside inventories and chests and stuff. And then later on, we can make a whole village up. So that's actually going to be really cool. Potentially as well, we could change their trades. That might be something we can do too. So yeah, it's going to be really fun exploring this mod. It'll obviously be able to be used to get us some resources and progression through the pack as well. But I think it's just going to be one that's mostly going to be a lot of fun to play with. Oh, look at this, guys. There is a mending villager here for just 24 emeralds. That is not bad at all. So I'm hoping that guy doesn't actually change his trades. We want to keep that, right? Because that's pretty decent. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so I need somewhere for the villagers to live, and for now I'm just going to try and keep him in our house here. So I put that there, and I'm guessing, do I just actually right click? And yeah, I mean, he lives in there now. That's just him. He's a trader, a weaponsmith, and we can come here and trade with him whenever we want, if that's what we wanted to do. And then, yep, shift right click to get him back out. Okay, that's very, very cool. So our librarian, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Nope, I want to put you in there. I shift right click by accident. We'll keep him in there so he keeps his trades and stuff. And 24 emeralds. How close are we to that? We've got 20. So if we could do a trade with someone else for some stuff, we might better actually do that in a minute. Now, this one here looks really interesting. It says iron farm, and you can see it's really easy to make. We just need to find one lava bucket, and everything else we actually have. So do I have a lava bucket? No, but I have an empty bucket. Let's see. Is there some lava near me? Well, what we're going to do, I've got my golden chest plate on. We'll head into the nether, and we'll just quickly grab a lava bucket from there, because we've got the boots that do no fall damage. So we should be able to get down to near the lava pretty quick, grab a bucket, and then just teleport home. Oh boy, that was a little bit scary. Okay, where are we? How did we end up falling through here? That's kind of weird. Okay, let's get rid of some of these and just jump down here again. Is there somewhere safe I can get down without these things attacking me? Okay, we can really quickly just do that. Then slash home. Okay, we should be good now. Ooh, all right, that was a little bit scary. I had some of those hoglin things chasing me, which you guys couldn't see, but yeah, that's why I was a little bit freaked out there. So we just need to grab, let's see, one stone, and is that everything? Let's see right here. Yes, it is. So an iron farm. Now, if I just place this down, and let's see, what village do we not really care about? I guess probably the weaponsmith, actually. So if I put him in there, what happens now? Okay, it says output items right here. So I wonder, is this just going to randomly give me iron over time? Okay, so apparently it produces a golem roughly every 4 minutes. And so that should be iron every sort of 1 minute and iron ingot every 1 minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here right now and watch this and see if this works or not. Yeah, there it is, guys. Look at that. So I'm in spectator mode right now, so we can get up and close to this thing. It actually spawns in a mini golem that is in the lava right there burning right now. How good is that? Okay, let's go back into survival mode and let's see what we got. So 3 iron and 2 poppies. So that is actually awesome. I mean, think about how simple that was to make. It really is a very early game item, and we have an iron farm. So very cool. I mean, you could obviously make a lot of these if you wanted to really get into iron, and maybe we will in the future. But I think this is definitely something as a mod that we're really going to want to look into. I mean, there's auto traders here, farmers for things, converters. My goodness, yeah, this is going to be very cool. We can have breeders and stuff. So probably want to dedicate like a whole episode or a good chunk of it to that in the future, because that is going to be amazing to play with. But let's see, we also get ourselves a bit of a chance reward here. We got, oh no, what's the chances? We got 2 of those. That's so poor. Okay, well, I guess we can really get our spooker once we get those furnaces going. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do consider subscribing. It's a great gauge to me as to whether I should make more of these videos and continue on with this series longer term or not. I'd very much like to. It's been a lot of fun. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.